So, how's it going? It's going well, thank you. I'm doing great. How are you? Wonderful. It was a hot day. Yes, it was. How's that for talking to yourself? Yeah, buddy. I forgot to fill up my cup. Oh, well. Nearly bedtime. I shouldn't be drinking tea anyway. How you doing, Ray? I'm just sitting there having a conversation with myself. It just turned blue, didn't it? Or is it just me? Oh, woohoo! I made it, but everyone go? Oh, so people were here? I was actually on time. Can you hear me okay? You don't often see me just in a regular t-shirt. Oh, well, it brightened up then. But I just put the mic on the magnet here. Went and got my hair cut. So I had to have me a shower when I got home and almost forgot to put on a shirt. I hear you well. Good deal. Good deal. Went to town today, went to Taco Casa, went blue again. That's weird. That's kind of different, isn't it? Wonder what happens if I get close and the world goes blue. Huh, went blue again. Huh. Yeah, I went and got my ears lowered, my wings clipped. Wonder why that changes like that. Hmm. Oh well. Anyway, did you see the thumbnail for this? And I put some Smurf. Yeah, I'm Papa Smurf. Anyway, I tell you what, another day down. I can't believe this is Thursday already. This week has gone, and I haven't went to do a review today. Beautiful little park that I went to do it in, but I had to break away and make a quick trip to my mom's house. You can put two and two together on that one. And then I didn't want to go back across town back to the park. So I came on back to Burke and did it down there at this little lake here in Burke. I thought there was some little fish in there. There were some boys down there. Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah, well, it went by quick. But there were some boys down there. They caught probably about a 4 pound catfish. Perfect eating size. I didn't think there was fish in there that size. Kind of made me want to go get my rod and reel. I had some shrimp set out to eat earlier. I thought, well, I could take a couple of pieces of that down there, but I didn't do it. I should. Went and did a chair. It was a pretty nice chair, but it was heavy. And I forgot to mute my phone. It's over here a beeping. A collaboration with a red light lamp for sleep and support. I don't know if I could sleep with the red light going. I'd be thinking the cops is coming to get me or something. Or the ambulance. Well, the ambulance, are they red or are they blue? I always thought they were red and blue, but I was told they wasn't. And then I looked, and they're really not. I guess they're just amber and blue. I remember when they were. No cheap guess. I don't know. I just don't think I could sleep with the red light on. But I don't know. It might look, well, it'd probably be too bright. I am getting something though. One of those, the new agency that I talked to last night. It's supposed to be like a 6 foot. Uh, Emily gives me a hard time because I can't pronounce it right. It's faux or fox or something. FAUX. In other words, it's a fake tree. But I'm kind of 6 foot tall. I'm thinking I might put it right over here. But I don't know. That side has got too much, got a lot going on. So it's faux. She gives me a hard time because I say folks or fox. And, I mean, it's FAUX. So You know, I spell things and I say things like they look. Do is fox. Hmm. Anyway, yeah, it looks kind of cool though. I don't know. Somebody was putting their brake lights on. I was trying to see who that was. There's one across the street. New window. I'll give you a clue what I saw it. That's fake. But I guess you got to be fancy if you're trying to sell something. It's a fake tree. Just call it what it is. Not really even a tree. It's more like a wax leaf ligustrum. I don't know. I was going to see if I could find it on here. Oh, here's the chair that I was doing. Oh, we're not even share it, are we? Why did I go to settings? I don't want to go to settings. What I want to do? Oh, share screen, window. There we go. That's the chair I was doing. My only issue was with it, and I said it in review, and it's because my posture and the way I sit, but it sits pretty much straight up and down, which I kind of want to lean back, and there might be a way to lean it back. I didn't see a way. $130. It's worth $69, $79 probably, but it swivels. I do like the little feet on it down there because it won't bury in the sand. Okay, browsing. That's sitting in there on the table because I'm supposed to be doing a review on that. This is the stuff that there it is. We're getting this in too. I don't really need it, but I told them if they wanted to pay me to do it, I'll do it. Otherwise, I don't need it. I got the remote on my phone. But there's that. Hey, hello, Jason. A party where? That's what I'm saying. There's a party going on around here. A celebration. We're going to grow our own fake stuff here. Wonder why it says moss. Moss plus rocks. Anyway, that's supposed to be coming in $139. They got to be kidding. Although I've looked at Hobby Lobby for stuff like that, and it's expensive. What was it? It was Home Goods, Home Zone. Anyway, it went out of business, and they had some of this stuff, and it was clearanced out, and it was still $100. I don't know. I think it would look okay back there. I'll just have to do something with that chair. I put that tall printer cart in the closet over here and utilized it. I thought if I can't sell it, I might as well just use it. Yeah, Jason, I don't know that. I didn't have nothing put on there. The thumbnail said enter some fancy or some text. What did I write on there? I don't even remember now. Oh, that looks kind of cool in the big pot like that. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, they're putting it in a bigger pot. Oh yeah, I can see a cat now, and the whole thing goes kabunk. That one looks fuller. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. Put some lights on it. There you go. That's a good idea. I think I might have a little, and I don't know. I may have gave them all to my daughter. I don't know. I bought a Christmas tree last year on clearance. I'm interested to see what it's going to look like. I guess I can put it up here in a few more months. Anyway, that's supposed to come in. I just thought it would look cool back there. Anyway, let's see. I need to be editing that chair, but I don't really feel like I'm full with it. You ever you ever get in a mood where you just yeah, Christmas in July? They actually have that here. I mean, legitimately, I think they have like a craft show, review the tree. Now, I don't have it in yet. I don't know when it'll be in. But yeah, I could definitely talk about it when it comes in. Uh, we could edit it. We could edit the video. I could put this screen over there and put my editor up here and share the screen, and we could edit a video. I don't. It wouldn't work on the audio though, because I have to be able to hear it. Did a roadie today. Oh, really? Hauled a mower in my car. Did I? No, I had the Yukon then. I delivered a lawnmower once, but I had my Yukon then. But you know, in that Camry, the back seats lay down. If it was like the one I had a 2015, but if it was in a box, it'd be hard to get in and under. I was in town getting my hair cut, and I almost turned Spark on, but then I thought I've got too much work to be doing, so I'm waiting to see how much it paid. It was a big box. It went. Oh, really? It went in the back seat. You know, it's getting harder and harder when you go to like Home Depot. They've got all the rack and the shelf up there is all electric lawnmowers, and then they got a couple down below them and like 5 or 6 Toros on the end cap at our Home Depot anyway. And I'm like, is everything going electric? I mean, the electric lawnmower that I did last year, not the last one I did, but the one I did last year, it actually did good. I mowed my mom's backyard with it, and she's got a pretty good sized yard. Did a really good job and still had battery power, and it came with extra battery. But I have a tendency to let the grass get a little higher than what I should, so not real sure that would work out too well. I sent Ray a pic. He will have to send it to you. Oh, okay. Oh, of the mower in the trunk or in the back seat. I haven't heard back from my insurance lady. Didn't email me back. I was curious about the insurance on the pickup. I guess I could call my aunt. She's a uh, she's a big has her own agency now, but it's farmers, and she couldn't beat Progressive, so she told me to stay at Progressive. Okay, we'll check it out. Oh wow! Oh, it's a Toro. Oh, turn it upright. Yeah. Did it go very far? How much did it pay? That was an easy delivery though, because I mean they're they're heavy, but I mean they're not overly heavy. The average guy can handle it. A girl could handle it too, unless it's a little guy or a little girl. Went 14 miles. Are you still up there at Tim's, or are you heading back to Tulsa? Paid 24 something. Well, that's not too bad. Mm. I don't even know if I'm still active on roadie. Yeah, I headed home tomorrow. Back to reality, huh? Well, maybe Tim's kind of kept you entertained and whatnot. He was up there, what, a week or, well, I guess it's just been a week, huh? Maybe 2 weeks. That would be fun to go somewhere for a couple of weeks, just to get away and chillax. A week. Well, that's cool. It would be nice. But you was still doing a little work while you was there, so but I mean, I don't know if it's different when you go home and the house is empty and I don't know. It has its advantages and it has its disadvantages. But anyhow, back to T Town. I'm tired, guys. Oh, I probably, I don't know. I need to edit that chair, and then I need to go put that filing cabinet together. I just don't really think I got the energy to do it. I don't. Your kitty is going to be happy with you. You know that's. I will say one thing about if you're gonna have a pet. In my personal opinion, I think a cat is the pet to have. You can leave a cat alone and they'll survive. You leave a dog alone for 2 or 3 days and they're going to tear everything up or fall over dead because they can't take care of themselves. They want to be fed. They'll eat all the food and then they'll be not eating food. Cat can survive. They'll eat bugs, whatever. Nothing against dog lovers, but cats are survivalists. Dogs depend on humans. Domesticated dogs, anyway. My kitty will be happy to see me. Yeah, I bet. You better take it some kitty treats. It's going to be saying, hey, what'd I get out of this? Taking a picture of the arch. Here, a little play toy. They probably have the little stuffed toys. I don't know. What is this? Ask Rufus. Is that? It's on Amazon. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I've seen some dog videos lately where the dogs are dressed. Yeah, I've gotten offers for these little sweaters, and there was somebody had a video on the cat had, I mean, the dog had a little cowboy hat on and some sunglasses. I do miss the cat. There was a bunch of cats that came up here every evening for the first few months. Whoever lived here before obviously fed them. I don't know, because there would be 6 or 7 within an hour, hour and a half after it started getting dark. They would all come up into the driveway at different times and go to like the back. I see them on the camera going by. I guess they went to the backyard. And now I just see one or two here and there. There's one that'll come up and it'll just lay down out in the driveway. Then you see the dogs checking themselves out in the mirror with different outfits. Oh, good Lord. That's crazy. Oh, I'm not gonna drink no more tea because I think I'm gonna lay down when I get off here and just try to get it early in the morning. I need to edit that and oh, hello, pork chop. Yep, got it all. Got my wings clipped. Is my speaker turned on? I guess it is. Did you see the email? A sealed outdoor clock. Let's open this in a new window. Let's put that over there. Is that going to work? Where's my StreamYard? Oop, wrong one. Remove. Screen, share screen. Well, that didn't work. Huh. What is the deal? Connection timeout. Creators Wonu video. What is that? Well, let's hit refresh and see if it does something. What is Wonu? Oh, this is my deal. You brought it. Anybody need a clock? 13-inch sealed waterproof outdoor clock, non-ticking waterproof outdoor wall clocks. Well, they're repeating themselves. They could put some more wording in there to help the SEO on it instead of repeating the same words. They need to hire me. I could go to work for the Chinese. More so than I already am. Well, hello, Tim. I see someone got their ears lowered. Yep. Got my wings clipped. I don't think I want that. Any of y'all interested in that to do a giveaway with? $4 coupon, make it $30. I don't think anybody could actually use that. 13 the digital clocks go pretty good, but I don't know if they're indoor and outdoor. Amber sent me a message in the WhatsApp and then she deleted it, so I don't know what she said or why. Maybe she thought I was still active. I thought you was going to start doing it again. I guess maybe he was talking about, I'm going to turn the speaker off so it don't make a noise. I thought it was off. I don't know. I don't want to do that. That's a no bueno. I would show y'all this list here, but it's not everything on there family friendly. So we won't do that. I bought a clock like that at Walmart for $4 and that thing lasted forever. Yeah. And it was probably, may have been the same, it might have been just the same clock out of the same factory. There's some things like that chair. Let's see, where'd it go? Stop screen share. This chair, I know Ray saw it a while ago. I don't know if y'all saw it. Let's see. Window. We'll just go with this one, then I can drop. Where's the browsing history? Oop. Yeah, that chair. You tell me that's worth. I mean, it's a nice camping chair, but $129, $130. Well, I guess you can get 20% with brand promotion. So you get 20% off So what is 20%? That would be like $29, or no, 10% would be 12.9, would be $24 off. That's what that is. I think that's 20% off. Now, why would you do a 20% unless you can do the 20 and the 10? That would get it back down there. But it's only, to me, it was only worth about 50, 60 bucks. It is a nice chair, but it ain't that nice. I know my mouth is not family friendly. Well, the China dolls have some adult toys for both men and women on their site. More than what they used to. Used to, every once in a while you could see something, but, and they got quite a few on there now. Yeah, that's a little, it's a little expensive. But you could get it by Thursday, July 24th. Wes? That's a long time. Usually, today's the 17th, and usually you could get it by the 19th. I don't know why it's that long, but like I said, it's nice. The only thing I didn't like about it is see how he's sitting, and you've got to sit, and you should sit like that. Disclaimer, you should sit like that, but I don't sit straight up and down. Now you can see how I sit. I can see it now. Grandpa does a video reviewing a toy. There was a couple of different times that they tried to get me to do them, and there's one girl that I watch. I subscribe to a couple of channels, review channels, to see how they do their presentations and stuff like that. It's how you learn, watching other people and start doing it your own thing. But she had an adult female toy on there, and she was just talking away and talking all about it and talking about how pleasurable it was. Order yours today. I'm like, how can, and she didn't crack a smile. I mean, I guess you got to be adult about it, but how can, I'm a little bashful, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know how you could do it with a straight face. Did you see what I wrote above about Amber trying to know if you already answered? Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. You said that she had sent you a message and then deleted it. And then I said, I thought you was going to start doing it again. Maybe you didn't hear me. Maybe I just thought I said that. I don't know. I could get me a little man bun. It'd have to be what, one of those those pin in ones. I think might be able to. I mean, I guess it's a normal thing, but I used to go into that Christie's toy box, but I was getting birthday cards. Sure you were. No, I really was. What am I going to do with that? But yeah, I get birthday cards. Got a couple for my brother-in-law, former brother-in-law, still my brother-in-law. I don't know, Jay isn't doing that. Yeah, there's one of those that's what was that old saying? Well, what was it? Face down, butt up, shall we say? There's one of those things on there and all kinds of stuff. No rectum ticklers for me. Well, anyway. No, Sherry said I couldn't upload to YouTube like I always did. I don't know why, but oh well. Part of me is glad to not have them pester me. Oh, I thought you was going to get back into it. I didn't know. Why couldn't you upload to YouTube though? Everything I do goes to YouTube. If they start dictating to me what I can and can't do, they can find somebody else. I got a whole list of people, and you add new ones. Not all the time, but 2 or 3 a month. And I was talking about that one site. Well, let's just look at that. I'll show y'all. Let's see. Let me do this. I don't know if I bookmarked it, but where did you go for history? History. What's well, that was earlier today because I was paying my internet bill. Where's yesterday? Maybe this will get me there. Yeah, here we go. I don't see anything that's incriminating. I would upload YouTube and she would pull the video from there. Oh, I got you. Well, Wobble, I just got an email that my channel membership to your channel came out of the bank account. It's crazy why they won't want you to upload. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. So was they wanting you to send the videos through like that WeTransfer? Actually, there's another one we started using. What's it? Transfer Now, because you can send, I think, up to 5 gigs without having to pay for it. Share screen. This is the one that they got me to sign up for last night. It's an affiliate, but I'm not supposed to mention the name of this company when I do the videos. But you can hit get sample, but I went through here and I didn't really find anything that I was interested in. But if you go over to and something else, check this out. Categories. Where was cell phone? Cell phones. Cell phone. Go check this out. What do you mean? Oh, I gotta go over here. Now let's do that again. Now, what would you think if you saw S25 Ultra, S24 Ultra? Yeah, well, it's not Samsung. These are fakes. They're not even good quality fakes. She acted like I needed an Amazon page like you. But see, this just says get link. It doesn't say sample, get sample. And I told her, I said, I don't see anything in your sample stuff that I would be interested in. If I was a girl, oh, that technical knife, stainless steel blade. But you can make 15% commission. But how many of those you really going to sell? That's that's a patent knife there. That's not even See that Teletubbies, or what was it? Wasn't it Teletubbies? Wasn't that what those was called? The fake iPhones on Amazon look. Yeah. Yeah, well, I put in the description of it in ChatGPT, and it said that it was a fake. It said it's not even a good one. But see, there's nothing, and you don't want to say I'm past this type of products, because that makes you feel like I don't know, you're a little arrogant, I guess, but that's not the case. But unless it's $200, and you're only going to make 3% commission, that's what, $6 or so. Hello, Lisa. Yeah, when it's not even good fake, yeah. You can get a diamond cross. But how could you sit there and say how good something is? I mean, unless it really was. Now, there's a lot of things that come off of like Temu and Shein and places like that are good, but it's a hit and miss thing. You may be good. There's some of those clothes you was talking about, Ray. Look at that. That's crazy. Poor dogs. People be exploiting their dogs. Dogs will be. Somebody's going to represent a dog one of these days and sue somebody for exploiting them. Wouldn't that be about right? Yeah, represent a dog lawyer. Hey, we might be onto something there, guys and gals. Now, these are worth getting, especially for delivery drivers. I highly recommend these. I've got one, mine's still in the car, and I haven't delivered in a while, but it's nice to be able just to throw something in the back seat and not worry about it spilling or tearing your interior. I highly recommend them. Well, they got a picture of me. Listen, we're just looking through here. They got me to join this. The lady that sent me this used to work for another company for a seller, and I had done a few reviews for that product. Beaver is what it was, and Beaver is a good brand. They have like what was it? Some air pumps and things like that, battery chargers. So, but she went to work for this company, and I guess she had her contacts, and she took them with her to her new job. But I still don't see anything that I would be interested in. Those look like owls on those glasses. They're not ugly, they just look like owls on there. But I don't see any kind of tools. I clicked on the same one. And I guess we're at the end. There was absolutely nothing. Yep, that was the end. I mean, I guess I could do some purses. I don't know how well those would sell. So they'll have to do better. Anyway. I think purses for the dogs. There you go. And I don't really, I've done some shirts, but I don't really, I'm not a fashion model. I don't have the body for, you know, for that. If I was built like this guy, yeah, I could probably sell some stuff. But who wants to see all this? Cross-border wireless Bluetooth headset, 28.87, and they're worth probably $4.99. And he looks excited to be there. Y'all ever look at these pictures and some of these, like this kid here, he's just doing it because he's trying to make some money. He ain't doing it because he wants to. And she's just doing it to show her physique off, and hopefully somebody will notice her and hire her to do a J.C. Penney commercial. Sorry, I'm in bed and I can't see the screen. Uh-oh. There ain't nothing really to see. What is that? Candles? Beautiful straight cup. Oh, it's a cup. Nah. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna be in bed. I think unless I get my second wind, I'm probably gonna go lay down myself. I came in, took a shower, and ate, and now I just want to chillax. Go in there and find a John Wayne movie or something. I don't know. I watched Cheers like one day last week or the week before last. I think I saw something on Facebook and I thought, I'll watch some Cheers. I watched about 2 or 3 episodes of it, and that was enough for me. I just don't watch much TV. I'm hoping my daughter will come get that big old monstrosity in there in the living room and get it out of my way. That thing is $459? Ridiculous. A lot of traffic out for 9:45. This town rolls up the streets at dark. I'm just sitting there rattling away and talking to myself. Nobody was here when I first logged on. I was having a conversation with myself, and Ray joined, so I didn't quite feel so crazy. Anyway, anybody got anything to say? Got anything going on in your life? Anything? Crickets? Oh my. Well, if I tell you what, this chair, I put those casters on here, and I got up a little bit ago to go to the kitchen, and when I got up, I guess the back of my knees kind of bumped the chair a little bit, and it went over there and hit the closet door. I'm listening. Yeah, I'm just talking to myself. I came in late, and nope, to the crickets. Yeah, I kind of, uh, I kind of miss hearing crickets. They can be annoying, but certain tones I can't hear anymore. Crickets. I can hear birds if they're close and stuff, but I got all these birds out in my front yard. I got the bird feeder and the bird bath out there. So, but I can't really hear them. I can hear the dove, they're loud. But like crickets, things like that, I can't hear them anymore. I went to where I go for my cancer doctor. It was just a checkup. It's ear, nose, and throat, and he set me up to do a hearing test, and they said I'm 70% deaf. but it's the tones that I don't hear. Good news for me. No tropical. Oh, fingers crossed. There was something hanging in the Gulf, but won't get real big and head this way. I remember seeing something on a weather. It was coming off of the Atlantic and coming across Florida, and they, from what I read, they was expecting it to, once it hit the Gulf water that it was going to might turn into. They said the name like a hurricane, but that's good. That's great if it doesn't. The Gulf of America, yeah. Yes, had hurricane last year. Gulf of America. You know, I think there's so many people that, and it's nothing personal if you do, but I see that Texas Gulf Coast or something, and they're pushing that it's the Gulf of Mexico and blah blah blah. And you know the only I think a lot of people have forgot the reason why he named it. He changed the name of it, and it's all because of Biden. Biden made it to where they couldn't drill in the Gulf of Mexico in certain areas where the oil, where there's big pumps and a lot of oil. So Trump gets in office and he renames it. So now they can drill because it's not the Gulf of Mexico. It's just a naming so they can drill. It's not a naming to call it America. It was so they can drill. And if all you got to do is go back and look at the news and you can see what happened. But then there's some Democrats and stuff like that kind of blow it all out of proportion. I wouldn't argue with anybody over it. They can call it whatever they want to. I'd still call it Gulf of Mexico, but it's just on paper, it's the Gulf of America so they can drill. But in all of our eyes, it's the Gulf of Mexico. And nobody ever talks about it. I'm used to calling it the Gulf of Mexico. That is what it still call it. It's been in history books as Gulf of Mexico almost. Yeah. After the storms we had here last night, I'm surprised we're not deaf from hearing that. And I had my headphones. Oh wow. Wait for video. Nobody down here calls that. I had it. We just say the Gulf. Yeah, Gulf. Yeah, but so many people want to make it more than what it is, and it's for the legalities of the drilling is why it was renamed. But sometimes political parties make things the way they want it to make it look better on themselves, but whatever. I'm with you, Pork Chop. It's the Gulf. Period. I wished I had me some good of that. I had shrimp earlier, and man, I remember when I was down in Mississippi, and even down there at Padre, at Corpus. I don't remember the name of the restaurant. You may have been there, but when you go, when you go across the bridge going out to Padre, before you get on the bridge, you can exit off, and there's a restaurant down there, basically underneath the bridge. It was really good, man. They had the big old shrimp. Shrimp boats be coming in. It was so good. And now up here, you get the jumbo shrimp, and they're like this. They're big, but they ain't. It's the medium to large shrimp down there. Good eatings. At the Gulf of Mexico one day. I said the Gulf of Mexico one day, and oh boy, I thought the dude was going to fight me. He yelled at me, calling it the Gulf of America. That's what I don't get. I mean, what difference does it make? If you want to call it the Gulf of Mexico, if you want to call it the Gulf of America, call it the Gulf, what difference does it really make? Is it going to make a difference if the sun comes up tomorrow? It's not. That kind of makes me think about something. I learned mainly when I was sitting at the hospital with my wife, watching her. Well, she was pretty much already passed anyway. But when I worked for the city, I mean, I learned then, but when I was still working at the city, guy was talking to his wife on the phone. He was having a conniption because she painted the living room walls like an eggshell white instead of a bright white. And I thought, what difference does it make? In reality, you can paint it again in a few years. So what? It's not worth arguing over. So, I just don't get why people want to argue about something. If people like to argue, they wouldn't like hanging out with me because I won't argue with you. I'll respect what you have to say, and I will listen because maybe you are right, and I'm not thinking about it your way, but I'm not going to argue about it. It's not worth it. I am not an argumentative person, and mainly because of what I went through, and sitting there thinking about little things. What did they really matter? When you get right down to it, does it really matter? The sun's still going to come up and the sun's still going to set. Whether you call it the Gulf of Mexico or the Gulf of America, it's still the Gulf. Just like Pork Chop said, it's the Gulf. Not worth arguing. I know some people are crazy, yeah. I know Wombo people are crazy is all I ever knew and still know. It's bloody white. White is bloody. White is bloody white. And eggshell white is very neutral color. Oh, yeah. It must look good with anything in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. But people they just want to argue over stuff. I'm not saying there's not ever anything worth arguing over, but you should constructively argue, not the yelling and carrying on and threatening and all that. But I do think you should listen to other opinions and other thoughts. Don't think that you know it all because you may be right. But then somebody may say something and you think, well, I hadn't thought about it that way. And then if you was so argumentative to begin with, you wouldn't have listened to him and learned that you were wrong. And admit, you don't have to come right out and say, oh, I was wrong. You can just let it slide, but you know that you were wrong. Fix it. I guess that's the lesson of the day. Don't argue about anything. It's not worth it. I have an ex that liked to argue, and she was in relationships where there was a lot of arguing, and I'm just not an argumentative person. So it was a life-changing event for her. I have better things to do in my life outside of arguing with dense people. I know when arguing with dense people, I know when I disagree with someone, I politely agree to disagree and move the heck on. Exactly. And like I said, you got to be open-minded. Just because you grew up thinking here's a prime example. There was a guy that I worked with at the city. He was an older man, and I was trying to be respectful, but I was on the barricade truck, and they had sent me to this barricade class, and they'd come up from Austin teaching this class to the state and county and city workers that are responsible for traffic control and work zone safety. And and he was older, so he thought he knew. And we was closing down a one of the busier street, not really a street, but it's the highway, one of the busier highways in Wichita. I guess would be a highway, Parkway. And he said, "Well, that's not the way you do it. I've been doing this for 20 years." And I just kind of looked at him, well, for 20 years, you've been doing it wrong. And I just kind of laughed and went on and did it my way. He kind of shook his head because I wasn't going to argue about it, but, I'll inform you that you might not be doing it correctly, especially if you come at me pretty hard. But I'm not going to have a big argument over it. If somebody don't set something up right, just let them do their thing, let them go on, and then you can go back and fix it. Just like women do for men. And I know women do it because I've sat there and watched them do it. The man thinks he's right, he'll do it, and the woman will just keep her mouth shut and let him do it. And when he goes to bed or goes off somewhere, she goes back and fixes it, and it's all good. No arguments. Outside, I am guilty of that. I got told once, you can't put gasoline in a styrofoam cup. Why? Well, lesson one. Listen to your woman, or any woman really. Sometimes they know what they're talking about. And I didn't. We had shelves right above the washer and dryer. And back then our kids were little, so money was a little tight. And we had one of big old boxes of powdered clothes soap. And I put that cup up there with gasoline in it. And yeah, well, the rest of the story is it melted and went into the soap and it was all ruined. But razor went innocent. Oh, believe me, I'm glad Wendy isn't. I did that once. Lesson learned. I was much younger. Lisa told me, she goes, "You can't put gas in that styrofoam cup." And I said, "Why?" And had I not have been, but at that time and stage in my life, I was still a little cocky and a little arrogant, and as she called me, a candy ass. I grew out of that, but had I thought about it, as much of a drunk as her father was, he was also a mechanic. So, she'd been around it, so I should have listened, but I didn't. I am still cocky and arrogant. Oh, man. I was not a nice teenager. To my friends, I was, but we would go to the skating ring, and some girl would want to hang out, and then she would say, "Well, you need to do this." I said, "Well, you need to move on." "Well, I'm with you." "Well, move on. I've got two more waiting. Ain't no sweat off me." Whatever. And that was my attitude for a few years. I wasn't mean, but if you didn't want to be with me, that's fine. Hit the road. There's more waiting. I grew out of that though pretty quick when I learned that I wasn't all that. But I guess that's just part of being 16 years old. You're kind of a little cocky. I haven't heard candy ass in a long time. That's what she called me. I mean, we grew up in different kinds of neighborhoods and stuff like that. And, I wasn't catered to, and I wasn't spoilt too much, but, my parents was able to take care of me, and, I didn't have to work for every little thing when I was a teenager. Some of it was handed to me. I had to work for it somewhat, but some kids, they don't get nothing unless they work for it. But just different upbringings. But anyway, that's what threw that in there. And plus, some of my attitude was she she trained me. She broke me of a lot of it. I used to get jealous and say, "You need to be talking to him," and she'd be telling me, if you keep on accusing me of something, I'm going to prove you right, and I'm going to go do it." That shut me up. And what really shut me up, while we're telling stories, what really shut me up was I was still wanting to run with my buddies, Eddie and David. Well, I would want to go out with them on a Friday or a Saturday night. And I did. And she let me. And she trusted me. I wasn't going to do nothing wrong. I was definitely madly in love with her. But and then she was pregnant. And then after she had Caleb, then she heard her friend Tracy wanted to go out. 3:00 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, they come dragging in. They'd went to a club and they went to IHOP. I said, you know what? No more. I ain't doing it no more, and you ain't doing it no more. That was probably one of the last times when it got put back on me, I didn't like it. But it made me realize what's good. What is that? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I learned. Luckily, I learned young, and that stuck with me. And when we did go out then, we went out together. There was no more of that. The guys not. And I mean, going to clubs, going over to my friend's house. Eddie had a pool table. Doing stuff like that wasn't a big deal, but like going out to nightclubs and the singles thing and couples. Anyway, that's my attitude now. I just don't give a crap. Well, sometimes you got to be that way. And there's probably something happened that makes you have that outlook. Me being cocky and arrogant was the fact. I grew some nads and learned to stand up for myself and refuse to let anyone walk all over me. Yeah, you got to do that sometimes. As long as you can, like you said, you can agree to disagree and just go on. But as the old saying goes, pick your battles. It's taken me many years to learn some of the lessons I've learned. I mean, you can remember way back when doing the nightclubs, etc., just a crazy young one. But I worked to go out to play. I tell you what, though, my friends, I love the hell out of my friends, and I'm a loyal friend. I do have a few nice bones, but just not many. Yeah, you got more than what you think. But you don't want people to walk all over you, that's for sure. And sometimes if you give a little bit, then people will give a little and people will take a mile. You got to stand your ground. But if you do that quickly in a relationship, whether it's in a friend relationship with a guy or a girl or whatever, anybody, if you kind of set that in stone to begin with, you probably won't ever have that problem because they know they're not going to be able to push it. They can joke around with you and stuff, but they know not to push it too far. But if it's the people that don't say something, or they just let somebody walk all over them, and then they finally get enough. If you just set your boundaries early in that relationship, then they know. Can save a lot of trouble later on down the road. And we're getting deep. Whew. Nope, I've been walked all over. This is why I am not in a relationship. Most women think I am a bleep head. Yeah, definitely agree with you, Brandon. Oh. Anyhow, I think we'll probably put Lisa to sleep. I think she's going to sleep. And Pork Chop is just sitting back thinking, yeah, he's full of crap. His initials are BS. They are BS, but I am not full of BS. Not anymore. There was a time. Do I need to tell you what bleep is, Grandpa? Well, I can put some words in there, but I just don't quite get it. But oh, like a poop head, maybe. Oh, well, I tell you what. If you run across the right woman, she'll know, and she'll give you your room, your space, and you'll be able to hang out and have a good relationship without putting pressure on it. My initials are PS. Yeah, PPS. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking. Uh, was it Scheisnoff? Can't remember the German word. I think it's Scheisnoff. Can't remember. Where's that interpreter I did the review on? Anyway, I know I had a lot of bleepings. There's a bunch of them. I'm sitting there looking at this picture. It looks hot, but it looks pretty cool. The wallpaper, share screen, window. Let's share that. Kind of a pretty picture. What is another name for Richard the Answer? Oh, gotcha. My old dad told me for many years he'd know when I met the right woman for me. He knew, and a few months later he passed away knowing I was in good hands. That's a good one. That's cool. That's great. And then being a dad, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, you worry about your kids getting hurt, but at the same time, when they do get with somebody like my son, uh, she loves him and he loves her, and he's a good dad. They're good parents, and I wished I'd have been as good of a parent as he has been, but I let things get on. You know, well, just putting it bluntly, when their mama died, that changed my whole life. Uh, so I didn't put the time in like I should have. But I know he's taken care of now, and I know he'll take care of her, and he'll take care of my grandson. So it's all good. It's my daughter I worry about if she would get a decent man. Which I'm not gonna say anything because one of my grandkids may be watching, but I just hate seeing my daughter work her butt off, working as many hours as she can, trying to clean houses. And anyway, hello, Jess. That's Grandpa. I'm sorry to hear about your wife passing. Wait, I didn't know about this. Oh, well, that was back in 2000, well, 2001. We were just talking about lessons learned and stuff and just different things. Got pretty deep in here a while ago. Yeah, I hadn't seen you in a while. I went, what, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and didn't even do lives. But I've heard using the whole different context kept it at least busy. Yeah. Life has been busy. Oh, I understand that one. Not hearing my phone. No. Yep. Are you interested in one in this one, bro? China dolls are calling me bro. Hello, T. Ryan. Let's see what 13-inch seal waterproof. Oh, I never answered them. The the one China doll I was dealing with, she knew what a thumbs down meant. Man, I was not interested in it. I'm going to tell her because she may not know. Oh, am I sharing this screen? Let's stop sharing. Yeah, KUBL44. Usually I will put a thumbs down if I am not interested. Smiley face. There. I've changed to a thumbs up. The swamble is the little things that sometimes mean exactly. Life can be a witch and then you marry one. Been there, done that. I learned that women can be very, very deceiving. I thought it was only on TV, but I learned my lesson several $1,000s later. Accidentally hit the thumbs down, but changed it real quick. Oh, that's all right. Did the witch ride the yeah? Oh, she well, I'm not going to go into it. This is say my house burnt. Life insurance money went away from my wife that died. My house insurance money went away, and then she went away. We'll leave it at that. Lessons learned. Lots of people try to be something they aren't, or at least portray themselves that way. Yeah. Ain't that the truth? And you ain't just a whistling Dixie. overnight. Oh, oh yeah. I was gullible. Trusting. Anyway, but I am a million miles ahead and on the way up. I think my only regret right now, not really a regret, but I wished I had more time to be. If I was in the position that I'm in right now, and I was in my late, 30s, early 40s, I wished I would be in that position right now. I mean, I'm not like miles ahead financially and stuff like that, but I can see if the future keeps going like it is, that it can get a lot better. But I don't have, you know, 40, 50 years left. We know that. But I'm okay with that. But I wish all the stuff that we all have the opportunity to have, I wish that I had that 20 years ago, 25 years ago. That would have been cool. You know, who would have thought you could be delivering stuff for McDonald's and make money 25 years ago? Grocery stores, some little mom and pop grocery stores always deliver groceries, but anyhow, my brain has a firing order what it thinks it says wrong or right. Well, I'm in the 40s and have, I think, but that's one thing. A lot of people say, well, I've made mistakes and I regret this. But if you wouldn't have made those decisions and whatnot, would you be where you was today? You know, if you learned something from it, then I don't know that it was a mistake. And you might have wanted to, you might should have done. I wished I'd have done a few things different, but yeah, we learn. You know, the bad things can hit you, but you learn to hold on to those things, those good things, because you know how quick they can be gone. Think of all the changes that we've experienced through our lives, all the things that kids have no clue how to operate. We grew up with like a Piper Punch. Yeah, and there's a well, it's been going around for a few years, like on Facebook. It's the picture of the floorboard of the vehicle. You got your gas pedal, your brake pedal, your clutch, and then your parking brake. And people are saying these kids today wouldn't know which one to do what with. They don't know why you got all them pedals. Yeah, there's parking brake. They wasn't to pull up with your hand. And then you had the dimmer switch down there in the floorboard. And kids nowadays wouldn't know what to do. In my 40s, I'd be shocked to have another 20 years. You live and learn, exactly. Or to be free from using phones that can track you, etc. Oh, that ain't no joke. Back when they was harping on the whole TikTok thing, I'm like, TikTok is absolutely doing nothing that Facebook and Google and YouTube, all of them, do the same exact thing, especially Facebook. Facebook's probably the worst one because you can just be in a room talking about a bicycle and your phone's sitting there, and then within a week, you're going to start seeing ads for bicycles. And you tell me, yeah. TikTok ain't nothing, nowhere near as bad as Facebook is. But I personally don't care. I don't care what anybody sees what I look at and hears what I talk about. If you don't want them to know, then don't be online. Don't have a phone around. Don't speak it. Don't even speak out loud if you don't want people to know. Oh, the parking brake on my car isn't a handbrake. It's another little pedal. That is why I like the Toyota now. Even yeah, yes. I learned how to drive a '72 Cadillac DeVille, and then bought a 5-speed and learned how to drive one, not having a clue. A 15-year-old nephew is now interested in going into some kind of hands-on profession. I only drove manual cars back home in England, just never had an automatic car. I think that's awesome. If Mom's on, she would probably know, but well, actually, probably the first. I guess I was gonna say Dad taught us to do the 3-speed, but the pickup, my grandpa's pickup was automatic, and I was driving that. And you might not believe it, but by the time I was 6 years old, I was driving by myself. But before that, I was sitting in this lap. I was 6, 7 years old, driving around out on the farm. By the time I was 10 or 11, I was driving from out there to the feed store up in downtown. But they were automatics, but Dad taught us to drive. It's like I don't know, 58 Oldsmobile or some lead sled is what we always called them. Well, my sister would be so embarrassed. Dad would ain't no telling what he'd come home with. His stepdad was a car dealer, and he knew a bunch of the old car dealers here or in Wichita. And he'd come home with a big old Oldsmobile and Buicks and big old giant cars. And they almost look like Hearst. They rode good though. I can drive a manual. One of the cars recently was manual. I really like manual in the snow, and you can downshift on the ice and have control of the car better without tapping the brake. My grandma had a Duster. What I learned to do on the ice, we didn't have much ice here. I just put my car in neutral because it made sense to me. If it's in drive, your transmission is turning, pushing your back wheels. So just put it in neutral, and there's nothing pushing your wheels. Saved me a lot of time or a lot of sliding. Just put it in neutral. Kind of like with a standard, just push the clutch in or put it in neutral. I think the most standard I ever drove was a Freightliner, a 13-speed. Not for a career. I mean, I drove it, but it wasn't like my job. We had a 10-speed at the city that I did drive, but it was just occasionally put the dozer on that truck, take it out to the lake. Usually my coworker would drive it. He was better at it, but I could do it. Take the foot off the gas and let the engine slow you down in the automatic. I just kicked it in neutral. But like I said, we don't get that. Y'all get more snow and ice up there than we do down here. And that's funny. Even the Dallas area gets more ice than we do. But I guess, I don't know, maybe the cold air comes, out of the mountains and Colorado and stuff, and it gets real cold in Amarillo and snows, and then it just starts just getting cold and drier here. But when it gets further south towards the Dallas area, they get more Gulf moisture coming up, and it hits that cold air, and they get more ice than we do. And they're further south. But that's the way it works. So I was driving on the road before I should have been too. Thankfully, the cops never caught me. We would pass cops, but that was in 73, 74, 75. They didn't. If you could maintain your lane and drive and you wasn't being an idiot, they never said nothing. Driven in the snow in Colorado and Kansas and Missouri. Haven't driven in Texas though. Amarillo gets it, and then like I said, Dallas, and I would hate to drive in Dallas traffic with ice. I wouldn't. And people down there don't even know how to drive anymore. Years ago, you could go to Dallas and everybody said they drive like maniacs. Yes, they do. They put blinkers on and they move. Oklahoma, they don't use blinkers. I don't think anybody in Oklahoma, well, no offense, Jason, but a lot of people in Oklahoma don't use blinkers and they don't know the left lane is for passing. We have a lot of people that work in Wichita and live across the river, and going down I-44, they're always wanting to be in that left-hand lane. But Dallas used to, they was 90 miles an hour everywhere you go, but it flowed. And then you started getting so many people moving in, and they wasn't used to that, and they'd be blocking traffic and trying to let people on and traffic jams because they were slowing down, letting people on. It's changed a lot in Dallas. It used to be fun. It ain't fun no more. You heard that about drivers in Oklahoma? Yeah. I hate Dallas even on dry roads. Yeah. No, Oklahoma don't know that the green light means freaking go. Oklahoma, they sit at the green light and run the red. Yeah. Austin dashes was living in Austin. I was 14, took a car that I'd done some custom work on up to the Chelsea cruise to show it off one night, and it broke down on the cruise. A bunch of the cops helped me push it off out of the way. They had no care. Yeah. It was different way back then. Chelsea is part of land. Oh, okay. I was like, Chelsea? I'm from Texas. I don't know. I know Midland, Odessa, Plainview, Beaumont. You get across the pond, and I don't have a clue. Wendell, Sealand. I've been seeing a lot of pictures and stuff of Italy. I think I would like to go to Italy. And I don't think I would starve either because there's a lot of Italian food that I like. Asia and stuff is pretty and all that, and the jungles and the rainforests and whatnot, all that. But I'd probably starve because I ain't eating raw fish and squid and all that crap. No. But I think I could survive in Italy. And I don't know about Ireland. Because apparently, I think, well, as a matter of fact, I did do a DNA thing, and I ain't got it back yet, but my sister did it, and I think we're Irish and Black Dutch and a little bit of German. But yeah, I'd like to go to Italy. I've been seeing a lot of pictures. Oh, wow, one day I'll see that. Never got to see the fair share of idiot Missouri drivers since I've been up there, especially. Italy is lovely, mate. I agree. A great place to go. I would like to. My sisters went and she loved it. Yeah, Ireland too. Ireland looks pretty. I mean, there's the green hillsides and the meadows and all that. It looks pretty. I don't want to go see big cities and monuments. I want to be away from people and take my camera and just, you know, go on the back roads. One day I'd love to travel all over. Just got to win the lottery. I hear you. My only problem is in order to win the lottery, you got to buy a ticket, and I don't think I've bought a lottery ticket in 2, 3, 4 years. I don't. It might be longer than that. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember the last one I bought. I saw a lot of the countries in Europe. That's so easy, like to get from England. There are a lot of places in Colorado that are like that. Yeah, we went up to Colorado. Was it year before? No, 3 years ago. And it was pretty. I liked it. I really like Red River, New Mexico, but I liked Colorado too. I think I can't even remember where we stayed. It was. I know it was on the southwestern part of the mountains because if you if you looked at like the all the waterfalls and stuff and the big stuff like over towards Pikes Peak, all that's up north, and that's where we should have went. And if we go back, that's where I'm gonna go. Cripple Creek. No, I haven't been to Utah. Yeah, he would send pictures. I think it's Cripple. I think Cripple Creek's where we went. Is that they have like it's like an old town, like an old mining town, and they got the casinos down through there. I think that was Cripple Creek. Yeah, I would like to go. Well, my plan was I was going to go see Steve in Denver, and we was going to go ride snowmobiles and whatnot. And then and I think it's like 8 hours to St. George. From you got to drive across the mountains. My son lives in St. George, Utah, and I was going to drive over there, but just gotten so busy I haven't had time, and here we are in summertime now. But Steve's giving me an open invitation, so hopefully I can get up there. And this and the cemetery in town is beautiful. I'm pretty sure it was Cripple Creek we went to. I we went into a restaurant and they had elk chili. That was the best chili I've ever. I'm from South, and I like my chili, but man, that elk chili was really good. Wished you could order that. I'd ordered, and you know, packets of it so I could have it. Go to the top of the Sangria de Cristo. We went. I know where we was at, Monarch Pass. Where we stayed, to go anywhere, you had to go over the Monarch Pass every time. And then it would just flatten out and level out. And then I think if you keep going the direction we went, I think that was Cripple Creek. I'm pretty sure it was. I have an invite to go to Utah to Salt Lake to see the world's fastest Jensen car. Oh, that'd be cool. Whoop. I don't know if I know that song. I keep thinking of what was the song? Convoy Wolf Creek Passway across the Great Divide, trucking on down the other side. We've been to Salt Lake before, a great British shop there too. I've never been to Utah. You know, Dad drove a truck, but everywhere we went, or everywhere I went with him, yeah, him and Mom went all over the United States, but was pretty much straight up, you know, from say Arizona north and from Georgia north. I've never been to the East Coast, never been to the West Coast. I've been to the Gulf, but I've never been actually seen the ocean. I think that'd be kind of neat. And I got family in California. All I'd have to do is call them and say, hey, coming out. Then I can go by and see my son and go to California. I've been to Vegas, but I flew there. I'd like to go back. I want to go see Red Rock Canyon and places like that and not spend all my time in the casino. If you keep going west, you got to Guffey, Colorado. That one don't sound familiar. Well, China dolls are hot tonight. Due to high demand, the high costs. If you listen to the song, Brandon, you will know it when you hear it. I know you will know it. I probably will. I just Hoover Dam is good. Yeah, I wanted to see that. You know, I flew over all that. And I've never been to the Grand Canyon. You know, but what did they send? Windows, Mac, iPhone, wireless thermal label print. I don't want no label printer. I got two. I got one sitting right there and one sitting over there. Because many people want this. Well, they can have it. No, thank you. That's a thumbs down. Nope. They act like it's something special. And due to high demand, it's probably $39. I didn't even click on it to look. $249. Y'all got to see this. Y'all got to see this. This is ridiculous. New tab, new window. Y'all be thinking I'm lying. You ought to see this. This is share screen, share window. Look at that. Buena Vista, Salina, etc. If you go east of Kansas City. I've been to a lot of places I would love to go do more videos. I've never heard of the French. My other cousin that lived there in the well. Y'all think that could be right? How can that be right? That's insane. Who would give $249 for that? Wireless thermal printer. Yeah, there you go. $39.99. It does exactly the same thing. 75 bucks, 49 bucks, 79 bucks, 59 bucks, 54 bucks. And they really think somebody's going to give $249? I'd have laughed. I'd have put a big laugh, and I think I will. Just that's kind of being a smarty pants, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh, yeah. I've got a 4x6 printer, two of them, that prints this. Yeah. I think mine, well, this one's not hooked up. Oh, well, maybe it is. Yeah. And I've got this one, and I don't even use this one. Tell tell me, is that the same exact one? What's the name of that? It looks just like it. Yeah. And I don't like it. I won't use it. Anybody want it, they can have it. Just tell me you want it. I'll send it to you. I didn't like it because it doesn't connect to my computer good. And the one that I got now, it connects easily. But that is insane. Would it be bad if I put a laughing face in? No, I'm not. I already put the thumbs down. We'll just leave it at that. Be nice, Brandon. Some sucker, surely nobody would pay that for that. I want something that I can print business cards. I'm currently in the process of forming LLC. Yeah, these you can't do business cards with. They're strictly the label printers. And the bad thing about the thermal paper is it only lasts so long. And it'll start fading like your receipts from Walmart and Target and everywhere. It's all the thermal paper. And it's good for a while, but it'll fade out in a few years you won't be able to read it. These label makers do a little better, but not much. But you can just get you a regular printer and get some card stock at Walmart and print your own business cards. Nah, well, no. I mean, I still have Spark. I just haven't done. What are y'all? It's been like 4 months, 3 or 4 months since I've done a Spark. I don't do any of it. All I've been doing is the Amazon videos and YouTube. That's it. And I don't miss the gas pumps. But no, seriously, if anybody wants that other label printer, private message me or whatever, and I'll send it to you. I don't want it. It's just gonna sit there and collect dust. So you can get your business cards from Office Depot. A lot of times and they'll run coupons for, yeah, that's true. If you want it, for real, just send me your full name and where I can ship it to. I'll send it to you. I'll have to get back behind the ladder shelf now to get the plugs because I unplugged it. Well, they're on a roll tonight. Because I just got some labels in for this label printer. They're 4x6 that to do a review on. I mean, I don't know what you're going to say about them. Yep, they're 4x6 and peel and stick. I don't know what to say about them. But when they offered them, I said, yeah, I'll take them because, I'll never have to buy labels again. I think there was like 400 of them or something. Yeah, I think things like Porkchop said you can get them to do the cards, and it might be cheaper actually by the time you buy the card stock and all that. I got to label everything for my daughter's camp, etc. Well, this prints the 4x6 sheets. The now they make those the little ones. That's great for like price tags and things like that. Yeah, just let me know. Uh, what Brandon does reviews at Gmail, or you can figure out, anybody can figure out anybody's email. Just look at their YouTube channel name. Make a label, bill, and stick. I'll put your address on there and we'll put it on Amazon. For a good time call. Yeah. But that last one, that last label one that I got, I can print from my phone, I can print from the computer. It's and now I've got me a template made when I sent Tim his deal and Wendy hers. I got it where I can print them out and they make it right now. I think my email is right in my channel description. You know, they say don't use your real email. Like obviously, dashandgrandpa@gmail.com, because it takes a Gmail to make the YouTube, but you don't want to use that in your about section. They say because that for somebody who wants to hack your channel, that's one step that they don't have to take because they've already got your email. That's why I have the Brandon Does Reviews instead of Grandpa's Random Reviews. Dashing Grandpa instead of it's Brandon. Oh, what is it? It's something different. That's in the about section. Or when you click more now, don't you? But yeah, anybody that's got a YouTube channel, that's their Gmail, because you got to have Gmail to have a YouTube. Gmail is Google. But yeah, you just don't want to put that in your about section. I can't believe they want $250 for that. That's crazy. Yeah, my channel email is just the contact email. My YouTube is linked to my main email. That's not this. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the one that displays it on your channel, you just don't want that to be how you get into your account. Yeah, but then my other ones was like 49, 59 bucks. And yeah, I can see that. I just don't understand why that one's that much higher. I mean, it does the same thing. I did a laptop and they goofed on the price. It was like $289 and they changed it to, what was it, $1,333.99. And I thought, there ain't no way that laptop's $1,300. And I messaged the agents, I think it was China Dolls, I can't remember. Anyway, I messaged them and said that I think the seller messed up on their pricing and they accidentally put a one in front of their 333. It's still not worth 333 bucks, but 150. It's about all it's worth because it's got an older processor in it. And it does. I wonder why my camera keeps moving up. I have to constantly move it back down. Maybe that's the default and I need to just go out there and physically move it down. Yeah, it looks like you should get that printer just to compare it to the one you have that you want to give away. They look the same, but the one that I use just connects to the computer. That one connects to the computer. It's just, it takes a little more work, and this one's easy. I'm pretty bad about saving boxes. My yard lights that I've got out in the yard, I still have the box for, and I'm not going to be giving those away or selling them or anything. But for some reason, I still got the box. So I probably still have the box and stuff that other label printer. My JW email is not linked to nothing. It's just the contact now. I was just wondering if you still dash there or still decent Uber offers, but DoorDash has went to the dumps for the most part. There are some bad orders and there are good ones. Yeah, I haven't. Well, I got deactivated from Uber. I don't know what the deal was with that. They changed whoever they do the background checks on, and it came back where I had warrants in Arizona, and I don't know. I got all that cleared up, but I didn't jack with it. I thought I've never been to Arizona. I was a little kid. I flew over Arizona going to Vegas, but I was like 10 years old the last time I was in Arizona, and that was with my dad in a truck. It was. And I haven't turned DoorDash on. I did turn Spark on a couple of weeks ago, just to do the new Real ID and keep it active. Because I want to keep it active because, I don't know. I don't want to strictly depend on Amazon. Oh, I don't have any warrants. They got it cleared up, but apparently it was another Brandon Smith. I don't know. It wasn't me. I got it cleared. I got it cleared up and proved my innocence. But whoever did the Uber background check because they used checker, and then they switched, and I don't know if they switched back or not. Yeah. There was a Brandon Smith right here where I live, and when I went to buy the car that I got now, I bought it in Richardson, Texas, and on the loan thing, it popped up that I owed child support, and I thought, not me, not this Brandon Smith. And once they compared the Social Security numbers, said, "Oh, our bad, sorry." I'm like, well, if I got another kid, I'd like to know. No, wasn't me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm 99% sure my driver's license would work, but when I got my car broken into last year, when I lived in the apartment, they stole my wallet and I had my Social Security card in it. And that's the way around the checker or the Real ID is if you'd have to take a picture of your Social Security card. I don't have a Social Security card. I've went to the Social Security office twice and sit around there and sit around there and sit around there. And I got sick of sitting around there, so I left. No, I got a squeaky clean record. I've got FBI background clearance, and when you do a police dispatch, they do federal, all that. And I am clean as a whistle. That's a mess. And the wait in the Social Security office is usually long. Oh, I got sick of waiting. And I asked the security guard there, I said, I said, well, actually, I said, would it be better if I did the online, set up your appointment online? He looked at me and goes, nope. He says, you can set it up online, but you still come in here and you take a number and they go by your number. So making an online appointment makes no difference, according to what he told me. Oh, I have that LifeLock, and when they need to do a background check, I have to unlock and allow. Oh. Well, I thought about being a 911 call taker, but yeah. I did the call taker in Wichita, and then in Iowa Park. Iowa Park, you're a call taker, dispatcher, you're everything in Iowa Park, or any small town. But like in Wichita Falls, you got the call takers, and then you got the dispatchers, You got county dispatch, fire dispatch. So they got a lot of people in that office building. Yep. Wichita, it wasn't very long. 6 months. Iowa Park, it was about a year. And that's when I was in Iowa Park, I started doing DoorDash and stuff. So, yeah, it can be really be an eye opener, and it can be a little emotional too. I'll tell you the funniest call I ever took when I was in Wichita. They a lady called, and you could hear another lady in the background, and they was wanting the police to come over there immediately. They got robbed, and they got robbed from their drug dealer. And I said, "Would you have the drugs on you?" "Well, no, we only got part of them. They took all of our money." I said, "So you got the drugs on you and you want me to send the police over there?" And they said, "Yes." And I said, "Okie dokie." They both went to jail. I thought, oh, oh man, that was funny. I see, I've often thought about it, but it could be stressful. I mean, oh, it is. It's really tough because, and I did the hearing, like I said earlier, did the hearing test, and I'm 70% deaf, but I'm not deaf, but it's the tones that I hear. But when people are hollering out, you know, descriptions, and I have to really listen for clothing and all that. And you start with the head and you work your way down with the shirt, pants, shoes, and anyway, but you got to be listening to them and entering it into the computer at the same time, and doing all that at once. And when you can't hear real good, it causes problems. Yeah, it was hilarious. I thought, "You sure you want the cops down there?" "Yep." "Okay." Yeah. Iowa Park though, it was harder because he was he was, like I said, he was the call taker, the dispatcher, everything. Fire department, police. He didn't do ambulance, but I mean, you connected them to the ambulance, but ambulance does their own thing. Yep, you're one man band. What got me in trouble is I was still new at doing that. I mean, I did the call taking in Wichita, so had a little experience at that. But in Iowa Park, the girl that was supposed to be helping me went to the back to flirt with the cops that was sitting there on July 4th. Not this July 4th, but a few years ago. And I was in there trying to take calls and dispatch, and she wouldn't help me. And I got in trouble. I said, "You know what? That's enough. I don't need this." Because I was making, at that time, that was during the middle towards the end of the pandemic. So, DoorDash, Uber, and Grubhub, you can make bank. I made good money doing it then. Get your DoorDash accession rate to 20% since I've been up here at St. Louis. Wow. I don't, does Pedro still do DoorDash? I haven't watched him in, a while. I didn't know if he was still doing DoorDash or not. Somebody said he's not. Uh, somebody somebody was going to start doing, maybe it was, somebody was going to start doing lives on Sunday because Pedro wasn't doing lives on Sunday anymore. I have no idea. I haven't, you know, his wife is on my Dashing Grandpa Facebook. When I flip over to that, I click like on their family pictures and stuff, but I don't really keep up with them too much anymore. Didn't watch it. Yes, it was at 3%. I don't know how much about Pedro. I don't follow him. My grandpa was overseas for many years and worked for airline industry. He had to live in the Middle East for 10 years and then came back to live in the U.S. in the 80s. Well, boys, wow, I've been rattling for 2 hours. Holy smokes. I'm not as tired now as I was. Oh, he doesn't do DoorDash? Huh. Well, he's got up, what, like 89, 90,000 subscribers on his channel. And if he's getting the watch time, he's making pretty good money on his YouTube channel. But maybe he became like Driving with Pete? When I first started doing stuff, I watched him, and all he does is read. He sits in his car and read letters, and kind of like your driver Mike. But every once in a while, that your driver Mike, he would go out and do a delivery. But driving with Pete or whatever it is, I don't think I ever saw him do a delivery. He would get emails and read them and then talk about it. But maybe he did deliveries off camera. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't have any issues with Pedro. He kind of got off into the drama there for a while with a couple of people, but I posted some shorts this week that took off. Like, that's good. They'll get some views. I used to dash that or yes, oh yeah. Yeah, him and I don't even remember that other dude's name. Yeah, that's why I kind of backed off of it. I don't do drama. I don't, you know, who knows if it's real? Who knows if it's staged for the clicks and views? And I don't know. If, if you like being on camera, you might as well do it. I started actually, I started Dirty Shoes Adventures and then Texoma Road Trippers and then Dashing Grandpa. And then when I started doing all the reviews, I made another channel, and this channel don't make no money. I'm $20 maybe, but the other channel makes a little. But since I do all the Amazon videos, I just put pretty much the same video on YouTube. So get the on-site commissions and off-site commissions. I love that travel channel. Oh, Dirty Shoes Adventures. I said it a while back. By the end of this year, I want to be in a position where I can take off more and do more of the Dirty Shoes Adventures. I miss doing that. I miss going camping and going fishing and stuff like that. And if I don't get around and start doing it, I'm going to wind up being too old. Well, not really too old, but like going up to the Wichita Mountains over here in Oklahoma. Um, I won't be in the shape that I need to be in to go hiking and stuff if I wait too many more years. But I'm just hoping by the end of this year I'll be in a position where I can I can do less product reviews and have more free time to do stuff like that. And it would be okay because I could wind up getting Dirty Shoes Adventure monetized. It's right at 1,000 subscribers, but it's a long ways from the watch hours. My wife worked there too. I like the Dirty Shoes. Yep. I'm watching those. Look at places to live in that. And up there at Wichita Mountains. I need to learn more about it. Oh, Pedro is still doing live shows, huh? Somebody, well, I thought somebody said he wasn't doing it on Sundays anymore because, oh, man, my mind went blank. Never mind. Live closer to Oklahoma, but still in Missouri. I just looked at Pedro's channel. He's streamed several recent live shows. Oh, yeah, I didn't quit watching it because I had a problem with it. I just quit watching it because I don't have time. I jump on your lives occasionally, Ray, and sometimes I'm on there. You just don't know it because I'll turn it on and I'll go in there and be working on a video. But it kind of helps the watch time. I need to go back to Springfield and buy me a boat. Oh, I got to get a pickup first. Got to have something to pull a boat with and then have the time to do it. Guess I better buy the enclosed trailer to go to the flea markets with and then work on the boat maybe next year. Dollar says Lisa went to sleep and pork chop is maybe here, maybe not. My mom may be here, maybe not. She hasn't texted or anything, so she may be asleep on the couch. I don't know. I think I think he welcomes the drama on purpose. Oh, Pedro. I got tickled watching him on the Spark. He used to kind of knock Spark drivers, and I was doing Spark, and I was like, man, I can make twice as much on Spark than I can on DoorDash because I'm not driving as many miles, so I don't use the gas, and you know. And then he started trying to teach people on Spark, and he got a lot of it right, but he missed a few things. And I started to point them out, and I thought, nah, he'll figure it out. He's a thinker. He's a gig worker. It's all the same stuff, really. You know, You learn your times. You learn what to take, what not to take. So I just let it go. And he's probably got it down pretty good now. I guess he's probably been doing Spark about a year now. Oh, when you're so intentions, yeah. Yeah, he's a nice guy. I don't know, like I said, I didn't have any issues with him at all. I just didn't really get into the drama that him and, what was that other guy's name? Another guy started a bunch of it, but I don't know. I really wouldn't disbelieve it if they was kind of working together a little bit. No, well, him and Dash and Trainer was supposed to be good buddies. I don't know, maybe they had a falling out. This was kind of a skinny guy. It seemed like he was in California or somewhere. Yeah, Dash and Trader. We almost crossed words once, and then I just blew it off because he said he was the fastest shopper on Spark there was. And I said, yeah, you're probably one of those that push people out of the way to get to your stuff. Because I've had Sparkers here do that. I would be doing a shopping order and be opening the freezer door, reach in, somebody cut up between me and that, and say, let me grab this real quick. And I could just see him doing that if he thinks he's the fastest, because that's the only way you're going to be that fast is to be rude and bump into people and push them out of the way. I don't know. But National Trader is cool. I mean, he's got some funny lines. I guess. I haven't watched him in a while. But I've seen Nug's video where he came to St. Louis and did a meet with Pedro. Oh, really? You're one of the first dashing YouTubers I sub to. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Sorry. Absolutely despise rude people in the store. Oh, some of these people get pretty pushy. Yeah, Nugs he's what, in Ohio, isn't he? I think he lives in Ohio. I think, I don't remember who the first one I started. I think probably your driver Mike was probably one of the first ones I started watching. And then I started watching other ones too. But I mainly quit doing the content on DoorDash and stuff because it's so repetitious. And there's so many people out there doing the videos now. And I don't do DoorDash. Hadn't done DoorDash in a while, but as far as Spark goes, and you can tell somebody how to do something, but it depends on your market. So you can show them the cover, but you can't show them what's in the book because it depends on where they live and how their stores and people are. I just didn't want to do the same thing over and over and over and over. I think Pedro was the first dashing YouTuber I watched. And then you, Brandon. Oh. And Dashing Across America, he's cool. I like him. I watched him some. Tim was the first DoorDash content. Believe it or not, Tim used to. Yeah, yeah. I met Ray and Pedro and Tim and what's the guy's name that lives in New York? Because he was there too. And I forget names. I think he lives in New York because he was doing the pet walking pets and stuff like that. It was my first gig job I'd ever had. I was like, wow. I was like 10 to 13 bucks an order on top of the bonuses. Yeah. When I first started, like Grubhub here, every order, it didn't matter if it was going a mile, 6 miles, 8 miles, they were all like $18 and up. I mean, and I was driving a Yukon, a full size XL Yukon, and that's 14 miles a gallon, and I was making pretty good money. Mm, Gonna make me look. Let's see. Sign out. I'm gonna look at YouTube here. Switch account. Go to Dash and Grandpa. Look at my list over here. I saw Bud Soda is still around. He was doing a live stream with somebody the other day, and when I clicked over here, I just saw his name up there. I wonder if Tanner Markley's still around. I'm seeing some names on there I haven't was watching in a long time. Wow. Dash with Ash. I think she's in Canada. She's passed away. Well, maybe he changed his. There's Nova. Huh. Don't sing on here. Justin Moore. I remember when he got himself in a little bit of a pickle collecting money and not doing what he said he was going to do with it. Oh well. Anyway. Yeah, but some of those live streams with Driving Wild. That's who they was on there. There's one dude I really don't care anything about. I just clicked on it for a minute and my son actually cleaned himself up a little bit. I mean, his beard was looking really wild looking and his hair was wild, but he got it cleaned up pretty good. I didn't know. Lola, that Lost on Land. She came on a few of the live streams, what, like 2 years ago? She would come on. I knew her from doing the RV and all that, the camping. Oh, Meg, yeah, Meg. Meg is a trip. I asked her one time, I said, how do you talk so fast? And she says she cuts some of her videos, and that's how it makes it sound like it's fast. I said, oh, okay. This is a cute little girl. Give this old man a heart attack trying to hang out with her. Bud Soda we met and Pedro, yeah. Yeah, we met Bud Soda there too. He was all right, but he went political. I'm not fond of Driving Wild either. I don't know who he was. I just clicked on the live for just a minute and her actual name was Paula. She lived in like Mesquite or Garland, somewhere around the Dallas area. She was she just came on to support the channel. She was never a DoorDasher or nothing. She did van life. You know, she'd have annual meetups for all the RVers. She had people coming from Canada, California, Washington State. They would come to some of the state parks in Texas and southern Oklahoma for the annual meetups. And she wound up getting cancer and dying. She was in kind of bad shape the last time I saw her because she had to get an electric bike because she couldn't walk anymore. Good. I mean, she could walk, but not very far. Yeah, Meg had lots of energy. Last time I clicked on a video of her, she was doing like gaming videos. Yeah, Gig Mom. I don't know if Gig Mom's done much since her daughter died. Some she has not done a video. Oh, so she hasn't done. I didn't think she did. Nice lady. She was in Florida. I remember watching her a lot. Yeah. Yep. There was another Reddit Pedro's. Oh, and what was the tall guy's name? Him and his wife was there. He was pretty tall. Real nice couple. They had a YouTube channel. Let me scroll back through YouTube. I'm here. Let me just look at the. Golly. Low with Robin. I don't remember who that is. Life with Lee, Chris Boy, Mr. Obvious, David Manning. He's photography. There's Alex. Alex is cool. Smart young man. He's going to probably make himself some money. There's Yost Malone. He's cool. I can't remember. I thought maybe if I saw their channel name, I would remember. Oh well. Whoa, wrong tab. What was the black book that did the drone stuff too? Not real sure. Tiffany. I met a bunch of people, but I don't remember a lot of them's names and stuff. Of course, Steve was there and uh, Dad, oh, what's that? Him and his wife. Uh, they live there with Steve, or not with Steve, but they're in Denver. Drove the electric car, the Tesla. She was a young lady that moved from one state to another and stuff. Huh. And I don't remember. I can't even remember yesterday. That I was just scrolling through names, and there's some names on there. And on YouTube, it'll have the little blue mark beside their name if they got new content. And there's some on there that I used to watch, and they don't have new content. So apparently, they're not doing YouTube anymore. That conference was, when was that, Ray? Let's see, it's 20, it was about 2020, wasn't it? 21? Might have been 21. I can't remember. Ray's memory is better than mine. Oh, yeah, it was 21. Okay. Yeah, they did another conference. What was that, last year or year before, in Denver? But I think it was kind of a flop. It was really cool, and yeah, it was a pretty good drive from Wichita Falls, but it was a nice little mini vacation. Went up there, spent the night, and went to that, and it was fun. I'd only been, that was the second time I've been to St. Louis, and first time I was with a family, my entire family. What was left of them: mom, my aunt, uncle, their grandkids, my sister, her kids, me and my kids, my mom. Oh, when you get 6 or 7 kids from 8 to 12, 13, 14 years old, that is a nightmare. One wants this seat, one wants this seat. This one don't want either one of that. They want this, and whew, it was an experience, but yeah, what a trip. Went to St. Louis and Memphis, and then I brought me and my kids back, and my oldest nephew. We all came back. My sister and the rest of them, they went on up into Illinois and different places. Dang it, Womble, you have my number 2 food status. What is that? Oh yeah, that sounds like a fun, but yeah. Oh, it was the funniest part of the whole thing is there was, and I don't remember if it was in St. Louis or in Memphis or somewhere between. It was like an outdoor dance, and it was a family place, but they had live band playing, and we were sitting around some tables under a little awning thing, and this guy came up and was trying to get my mom to dance, and we was all trying to push her out there to dance. You know, he was probably 30 years old, and built like a football player, and he was saying, "Come on, honey, come dance with me." That was funny. If she's watching, she's probably laughing right now. I can't remember. I think she did get up and dance a little bit with him, but I don't. That was funny. That we floated down. Was that the Merrimack River? And the Merrimack, was it Merrimack? Is that the Merrimack, that river? The Jesse James and Frank James hideout where they got the little cave in over there. I think that was Merrimack. Oh, she is watching. He was drunk. Oh, but it was funny. I can't remember if you danced with him or not. I think you did, but I don't remember. Oh, Ray's got a picture of me and him. Well, there we are. Yeah, we can get focused. See if I got a good. There we go. I even got my Dashing Grandpa shirt on. What is that? Blue dots? Oh, I don't know what that is. I didn't know you had that picture. That's cool. I did. Then he went and passed out on the grass. Just too much of a woman for that young man. Oh, yeah, was that the Merrimack guy? That was fun. We got on the little boat, and I say a little boat, it was a little deck boat, and went down the river, and there was a girl, I think she was passed out or something, and we, me and another guy, and I think the guy that ran the boat, we got her and pulled her into the boat. That's Grandpa's mom. Yeah, she watches a lot of times, but usually she's either watching it on her TV, and then she can't comment, and then sometimes she's watching it on her iPad, and she's a night owl. Yeah, that was a fun vacation, but man, all them kids wanting different things and wanting to go different places, and I think that was, I want to say that was the second casino I ever went in. Because the first time when I went to Ohio, I went to a casino, and then the one there in St. Louis. Mom, she's well, I was gonna say she's 63, but that would make her 3 years old when I was born. I guess 80, 81. 81 are still rocking. Being 100 this good grief. My grandma would be, how old would Mama be? Was it 1912? 114? I don't know. She'd be on up there. They had my mom when they were, what, in their late 30s? Or might have been 40, I don't know. Oh, 1911. I was close. I was in 1912. So Papa was born in 1908, I think. I don't know. Grandma was born in 25. I don't know when my other grandmother was born on my dad's side. I don't. I was more close to my mom's parents in 1909. Boy, I'm missing both of them by 1 year. Oh, well, there's a picture of Ray with Pedro. Oh, get up there, get focused. There, well, kind of. My granny on the pop side was born in 1911. That's when my grandma was born. Was it blurry? I didn't. We tried again. This camera it's a decent camera. It just don't focus. I really want to try that little dash or little. Well, that's probably about as good as it's going to get. Ray be representing there. That was Pedro with a beard and shag. He sang karaoke too. They did really good on that event. That was a lot of fun. That was the day after Wendy got thrown out of the rehab place. Yeah, I think he's cleaned himself up quite a bit, and that's when he was first starting to make a little money, and the more money he made, the cleaner cut he got, and the little fancier dressing. Yeah. I tried to get Emily to do the karaoke, but she wouldn't do it. She sings karaoke, and she sings pretty good. She just wouldn't do that. Oh. Well, apparently he had a lot going on that we didn't all know about. So, I don't know. I knew he had talked about some uh, lifestyle in previous years, but I thought he was past that. But apparently he was just fooling himself. But I guess he's. I love karaoke. I'm a dork. Hey, you're not a dork. I actually got a karaoke machine right over there, and I will every once in a while I'll sing on it. Not in front of nobody. My voice is horrible, but if you turn it up loud enough, it sounds pretty good. Red kicked out the rehab or a voluntary release. Wide Open Space is a good song for karaoke. Yeah, I've done what that's some of the bad things about doing the reviews on the karaoke machines is on Amazon you can't play any music at all anymore, and it's hard to review a karaoke machine when you can't play any music through it. Oh. Wide Open Spaces, good song. I wished I could sing, but my memory is not very good. There's only like one, maybe two songs I know all the words to. I went when I worked at King's Food grocery store. I worked with a boy. What was Troy? My mom and everybody called him Blue Eyes. He was a young kid, but you could tell him any song, whether it was country, new country, rock, old school rock, and he could sing it, and it'd be right. He was a music book, and he had a pretty good voice. I don't know whatever happened to that kid. She was there to learn how to use her arm properly again after breaking it. Most of these rehab places are for the pets. So. Oh. Well, you all, I need to hit the hay. I have a travel day tomorrow for real. Are you heading back to Tulsa time, huh? Well, be safe. And watch them Oklahoma highway patrols. They're in the sky. Hey, you're so close to that border, you probably won't even run across any there. Head on down towards the city and you'll run across them. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Jess. Yeah, I'm traveling from Missouri back to Oklahoma tomorrow. Heading back to Oklahoma. Oklahoma. I don't remember that y'all's song. Emily actually is from Oklahoma. Little bitty town nobody's gonna have heard of unless you're from around there. I'd never heard of it. Anyway, I need to get out of here myself. It's 11:40. I've gone on. This is probably one of my longest live streams. A pork chop still here? I thought you was done snuck out the back door, pork chop. Yeah, this one's called R. And then there's Ringling. Probably because I'm chatting up. Yeah, this one, my longest one. I've just been listening to all the stories. Oh Lord. Yeah, well, I threw my mama under the bus with the drunk guy, and um, well, you should have scooted on up to the front row. You could have told us some stories about the big city. I bet they got a lot of stories for down there. Pork chop was lurking, yeah, hanging in the rafters. But I think I'm going to get out of here. I don't know. I'm kind of awake now, but it would probably be smarter just to go lay down and try to get some sleep and then get started. My head kind of hurts, but anyway. And this mic may be going dead pretty soon. I don't know. I don't know how. I've never used these completely all at once to see how fast the battery goes dead. I'm writing a book about all of you. Well, I want to read it. You could probably just copy and paste all this chat, put it in Chat GPT, and say, write me a book about these people, and you'd probably come up with a pretty wild book. Yep. You guys are entertaining. Well, glad we can entertain. People ask me, how did you get started? I would have never imagined me and being in front of a camera. You can ask my mom. See, I used to not even want to take pictures at all. And then I got, after the kid's mama died, I learned that pictures are not for you. They're for those you leave behind. So then I didn't mind being in pictures, but I never thought about being on camera, much less sitting in front of people. I was bashful and shy. I wouldn't talk. I was the little kid that scooted in behind his mama. I didn't want to talk to nobody. Looks like my story may be all over the place. There's a lot of sass and no class. Just remember that I'm innocent. You're the innocent one, huh? Well, I ain't no telling how bad we're going to be by the time she gets through writing about us. But maybe she'll put her names in there for credit. Maybe she'll change the names to protect the innocents. Isn't that what they say? The names and what was that on uh, Law and Order? Anyway, that little saying. Well, I don't need to lie. I know I'm very far from innocent. Claiming innocence is no fun. I'm not sure what section you'll find his book at. Somewhere between left and right. Yeah, Law and Order is the stories depicted are true, but the names and actual events are. I don't remember. Used to watch that show a lot. Wasn't really my choice, but then I kind of started getting into it. There was one show that I started watching, and then it ended. Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone. I started watching that. I even subscribed to what was that on? One of those you got to subscribe to on Netflix, or not Netflix, but the Roku. And then it ended. And I don't know if it ever is going to start back up. Yeah, at first I didn't like it, but I kind of started getting into it, and that way when I'm old, I will like, holy cow, I was not innocent. 2 seasons on Paramount. Well, I watched it. Well, I don't want to say because somebody may not be, they may want to watch it, and I don't want to ruin anything. I'm going to go check. Matter of fact, I'm going to go look. I wish it was still on there because he was heading back. If you watch it, you know what I'm saying. I think he was going back. Can't remember. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to go see but I watched it to the end, but it's been a while. I better buy a copy too, then can read it to show how innocent I truly was. I want the audio book because reading, I can read, but it puts me to sleep. I am terrible at reading. I can read, but I just fall asleep when I start reading. When I worked at Blue Cross and Blue Shield, everybody was listening to the audio books. Well, but it's far from innocent, you all. Wendy will say that first. That's how these series do. They take so long, then you go back and watch the first season. Yeah. Yeah, because I kept seeing it advertised, and I thought I'm going to wait till more of them come out. So, because I'm the type of person when I start doing something, I kind of go all in. You know, back we started riding bikes. My dad actually started, and I joined him riding. But I wanted the seat cushion. I wanted the shoes. I wanted the sunglasses. I wanted it all. I wanted it then. I couldn't be patient. Do a little bit at a time. And I'm kind of like that on the watching the series. That's why I try not to get into the series because I'll binge watch it all the way through, and then I won't sleep. I won't get nothing done. Ozark. Huh. Well, anyway, kiddos, it's been almost 2 hours. 9, 10, 11, no, almost 3 hours. I'm so tired I can't even count. But I'm going to get off here, y'all. Let y'all get back to something productive instead of wasting your time hanging out with me. But I enjoy it. I have enjoyed it. Yeah. Usually I've got it. Usually the Grandpa's Random Reviews is almost a guarantee. And we're going to start doing monthly giveaways on there too. At the first of the months. So anyway, hope to see y'all next time. Appreciate y'all being here and hanging out with me and listening to my mixed up stories and can't remember what was that CRS. Anyhow, I am out, y'all. I'll catch y'all later. Y'all keep smiling and dashing and dancing and okay, I'll add it if I have it. Okay, appreciate it. Anyway, y'all keep smiling, dashing, dancing, prancing, doing whatever it is you want to do. Just keep doing something because you're going to grow old. I don't guess I'm doing any dashing anymore. But I said dancing, but I don't really dance either. Well, sometimes I do, but nobody will know but me. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Bye, guys and gals. Thanks for being here.